Thank you, Lord, for your presence tonight. Thank you for blessing us, for touching us, Lord. Thank you for allowing us to experience the joy of worshiping and serving you. Lord, we ask this night that you will speak to us. You speak to our hearts, speak to our minds, Lord. Speak to the people, Lord, and help us to accept your word tonight, whether it will be an encouragement, whether it be rebuke, whether it be warning, as long as it's coming from the Lord.
Yes,
help us,
Lord.
Lord. Give us a heart that follows hard after you. Thank you, Father, in Jesus' name.
Amen.
And please be seated. Praise the Lord.
Amen.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Praise the Lord.
Lord.
Are you blessed?
Amen.
Many of you have felt the presence of the Lord.
Amen.
You want more of God?
Amen.
Amen. That should be our heart. A heart that follows hard after the Lord. And anyway, our topic for this month and for the next month, pursuing the heart of God. Amen.
Amen.
Are you on our topic? Can you relate on our topic? Do you experience our topic? Pursuing the heart of God. This night, we will continue with our lesson, How Sin Traps Us. How Sin Traps Us. I would like to give some verses that shows about being trapped by the enemy, being trapped, Christians and non-Christians, especially, they're being trapped by the enemy. In 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 26, and they may come to their senses and escape from the snare. The word there is snare or trap. From the snare of the devil after being captured by him to do his will. And from Psalm 124 verse 7, we have escaped like a bird from the snare. The word is snare, trap. From the snare of the fowler. The snare is broken and we have escaped. If you want to trap a bird, it should not be obvious that it's a trap. As much as possible, it should be hidden. Right? It should be hidden from his sight, and he doesn't know that it's a trap. When I was a child, I love to make trap. Especially when we were living at the back of our house. It's a rice field. And if it's rice field, there are a lot of the bees. There are a lot of rat. In what's Tagalog is dagang palay. There are a lot of rats, and my playmates, we used to go there and catch this rat because I love making a trap, and I love this and when you cook this rat, wow. You get rat here. When you cook it, adobo or pirito, it's tastes like a chicken.
Wow.
You have to try once. You go to Pastor Mario's place, there are a lot of rats there. He will cook for you. And snake. Yes. And then, how sin? How about us? How sin traps us. If you will read the story of King David, it was really a colorful story until he reached at the top of his career. But then, just like last time, we shared to you last time, at the height of his career, God put him on a situation that nothing was left to him. Just a short review so that we can get the next story. He was anointed when he was a boy. He was anointed to be the next king of Israel. And then he defeated the giant in the Bible, 9-footer, 9'9". Wow. 9'9". Can be a basketball player. He defeated Goliath, and then after that he was promoted. He was promoted by King Saul. Until he became a general, a warrior, until he married the daughter of King Saul. So he became the king's son-in-law. But then there was a time that King Saul got jealous with him, got angry with him, and that was the starting point that King Saul attempted to murder, to kill David. You see that? It only started with a jealousy, with an envy. Because King Saul was not able to handle it, that envy and jealousy, it leads to murder. So same as with us. If we cannot handle a small sin, we always skip it until it grows. Until it grows, huwag po nating alagaan. Ano ang bagay na inaalagaan natin, it will grow. It's like the plant. If you take care of the plant, if you take care of a pet, it will grow. If you take care of the sin, if you feed your sin, even a small sin, later on, it will become, pile up into a bigger sin. Like it started from envy and jealousy until it leads to murder. He wants to kill now. And not only David, all those who take side with King David or with David. He was not king yet then. All those who take side with David, he killed them all. So he reached to that point that killing to him is nothing. Why? When did it start? Envy and jealousy. So our topic today is not about envy and jealousy, but it's still pasok pa rin, because it's how sin traps us. How sin trap or snag us. And how about David? How did David trap? How did he was trapped by sin? As we read from 1 Samuel chapter 27, before that there was twice in his life that he can right away kill Saul. 8 years he was running for 8 years from Saul. Imagine 8 years. 8 years running from the king. Imagine 8 years kang nagtatago. 8 years you are hiding from the cave. He was hiding from the desert for 8 years. What do you think? Some of us here we have experienced hiding when we don't have, when our visa is expired. We experience hiding. We don't know how we will hide from the police. And then if you see a police, we are afraid. But how much more? 8 years, hiding 8 years from King Saul. So it must have been exhausting. It must have been tiring. And he has already the power to kill King Saul if he wants to. But then his army said, let us kill him, King Saul, now while he is sleeping, so that everything will be finished. No more, no one will go after you, no one will kill you. But you know what David said 2 times? He has already the opportunity to kill him. What he said? Touch not God's anointed. He is still God's anointed. He did not kill King Saul, though if he killed him, right away he will be the king. Anyway, he was anointed to be the next king. Why he did not do that? Because he respected the leadership. He respected the Lord, what the Lord anointed. And then what are you saying now? Why are we saying that? How did it come to the point that he was trapped? On 1 Samuel chapter 27, when I read it first, I had a question in my mind. How did this story of King David, how did he was trapped? He was only trying to run from King Saul. So let me read so that we can relate. From 1 Samuel 27, because when we see when I saw the message how sin trapped us, how David was trapped, it came to my mind right away. This is the story of David and Bathsheba. But in this story, this point, it's not about David and Bathsheba. On 1 Samuel chapter 27, verse 1, he said, but David thought to himself, one of these days I will be destroyed by the hand of Saul. The best thing I can do is to escape to the land of the Philistines. Then Saul will give up searching for me anywhere in Israel, and I will slip out of his hand. After 8 years of hiding from Saul, living in the cave and the desert, now he thought to himself, there will be a time that I will be destroyed by King Saul. It is better for me and for my family and for my army, for all those who took side with me, to go to Philistine and live there, so that King Saul will not search for me. And when King Saul found out that David went to the Philistine, he stopped searching for him. So what's wrong with that? What's wrong with running from King Saul? What's wrong with going to the Philistines, to the Philistine nation, and just live there? Is there something wrong with that? Is there something wrong with hiding? Is there something wrong with running away from your enemy? Tell me, you answer me. Is there wrong with that? May masama ba na takbuhan mo yung taong pumapatay sa'yo? May masama ba na pumunta ka sa ibang bansa para matakasan mo yung taong gustong pumatay sa'yo? O gusto mo taong gustong magpahamak sa'yo? Is there wrong with that, Brother Jim? You understand what I said? Very good. Is there something wrong to hide from someone who tried to kill you? Is there something wrong with that? But that's why I keep on asking myself, Lord, how did David sin here? He just ran from the one who tried to kill him. You want to know how David was trapped on running from King Saul? Do you want to know?
Yes.
Ayaw niya tayo. Close to tayo. Let's just do it next time. Alam mo po yung maganda kapag nakikinig ako ng message. What is good thing when I'm listening to a message is that when my mind is start to think, and two things I want when I listen to the sermon or the pastor. I want my critical mind to think of something. How did that happen? Why did God allow that thing? And then the next thing I want is when I am being hurt, when the pastor is saying sermon. I like to listen to those kind of pag nasasaktan ako, ibig sabihin, tinatamaan ako. Ibig sabihin, wala pa ako, Lord. If you are not being hurt with the message, it means you ask yourself, why am I not being hurt with the message? Why parang naboboard na ako sa message, when you feel bored with the message, when you feel you are not being touched with the message, when you feel that the Lord is not speaking to you anymore, that is the time that you will ask yourself, why I don't feel the presence of the Lord when there is a sermon, when there is worship. You have to ask yourself then, maybe there is something wrong. For sure. It's not maybe. There is something wrong. So you have to search our hearts. Maybe we were already trapped by the enemy. From our message, are you familiar with that one? The mouse trap? Have you used mouse trap before? Especially those who house with a lot of rat in the house, they always use mouse trap. But when the mouse, you can trap the mouse once, but the next time you cannot trap it anymore because you already knows it. Then the other, that's why in the Philippines when we try to trap the rat, we don't talk to them like let's say we will trap the rat tonight. And then you said to your wife, we will put a mouse trap so that we will trap the rat. And then you said, the wife said, shh, silence. They can hear you. Or else you will not trap them. So, trap. When we say trap, a noun, a device or enclosure designed to catch an animal or something else, or a situation in which people lie in wait to make a surprise attack. Trap. A verb, catch an animal in a trap. Or the second one, this is the usual one, trick or deceive someone into doing something contrary to their interest or intention. Trick by the enemy or deception by the enemy. A trap. Sin traps us by making life more enjoyable at first, but the consequences always catch up to us. Let's go on. Sin snags us or traps us by making life more enjoyable at first. Sin comes to us especially when we are in a difficult situation and offers an attractive alternative. It offers an attractive alternative. In David's case, he had been running from Saul for about 8 years. And here comes the open door. The open door to go to the Philistines. And then forget about Israel. Little by little, we will see here how did it become a trap to David. It should not be a trap. There's nothing wrong with running from your end, from the one who tried to kill you. But it later on, little by little, eventually, he did not know that it becomes a trap to him. Because he was in a difficult situation and there is an attractive alternative. Oh, here, come, this is the offer. I will offer you easy money. Just bring this to the airport, this bag to the airport. Just bring this to the airport and then give it to someone with a white bird. Someone like him. And then easy money, I'll give you 1,000 dinar. And you don't know it's drugs. And if you were caught by the police, you are only the one who will suffer death penalty. The man with the bird, you can see no more. You were trapped. That means you were trapped. Wow, easy money. It's not all open doors. Not all open doors are the way to enter. Not all open doors can be entered. open door, open door to this place, open door to this company, open door to this job. Not all open doors you can enter.
Right.
That's why you have to pray for the perfect will of the Lord. Remember, the Lord gave us, in the Bible, there was two ways, right? Broader is the way that leads to destruction. Narrow is the road that leads to life. Two open doors, two open way. Choose. You cannot say, both of them are will of the Lord. I go to the easiest way. But it leads to destruction. Remember one time the Lord said, it is even easier for a camel to enter the hole of a needle. What? Pwede ba yun? Ang camel makakapasok sa needle, butas ng karayo? Can a camel enter the hole of a needle? It is easier for a camel to enter the hole of a needle than for the Pharisees, those who are self-righteous, those who are self-righteous to enter the kingdom of God. You want open door? Can you enter the hole of the needle? You saw those who sang a special number, right? Those who sang a special number, they can enter the needle.
Wow.
That's why they stand here.
Yeah.
At pag po kayo magtanong, buntis po yung isa sa kanila. At huwag kayo magtanong kung sino sa kanila. It's one of them. One of them is pregnant. David's case, he had been running from Saul for about 8 years. Nakapagod, di ba? Sino po nito nakakapagod lumaban sa kasalanan? Sometimes nakakapagod. Sino po nakakapagod dito na who has become tired here of fighting those trials in life? Nakasawa naman kapitbahay ko na ito. Lagi-lagi na lang. Nakasawa naman yung kasama ko sa work na ito. Lagi-lagi na lang. Kanya. You understand, Brother Jeffrey? And Sister. Sometimes we become tired of fighting the sin. And that happens to David. He became tired for 8 years running and living in the cave and living in the desert. No place. He has no place to sleep peacefully because any moment King Saul and his army will come and kill him. Let's observe. Situation for sin is often a time of trial. Satan always hits when you're down. When you're down. When troubles. Satan always hits when you were down. You remember the story of the lion who was very hungry and he saw a lot of deer in the grazing there on the grass, a lot of deer, and then the lion is looking. He will not just attack. He will look first. He will observe first, and then once he observes, the one he cuts first. He will observe. He will look first the weakest one. Why? Because he can cut it easily. So when we are weak, of course, we have to ask strength from the Lord, so that we will not be caught by the enemy unprepared. Many times, many Christians are caught by the trap of the enemy. We are caught because we are unprepared. We are not prepared. You see, last time there was a typhoon in the Philippines, right? And in Kerala also. And in Africa, nothing. In Kerala, lot of flood.
Quite satisfying.
In Greece. They were caught unprepared. And they said, this happened only a century ago. 100 years ago. It happened only again today. They were caught unprepared. And same as to us Christians, let us not be caught unprepared. That's why 1 Peter 5:8, be of sober spirit, be on alert. Your adversary, the devil, prowls about like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. But resist him, firm in your faith. Be sober. Be watchful, sir. Be watchful. Be on the alert. Be on the alert. They are, even now the government is giving alert. If there is flood, alert number 1. If it is color orange, if it is color orange means there flood, heavy rain is coming. So, be on your guard. The sequence of sin is deceptively entangling. Hebrews 3 verse 12 to 13. Take care lest any one of you be hardened by the deceitfulness of sin. Take care. Or else we will be hardened by the deceitfulness of sin. Satan used deceit to entice Eve. I want to read again this Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 9. Jeremiah 17 verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and beyond pure. Who can understand it? Verse 10, I, the Lord, search the heart and examine the mind. The heart is deceitful above all things. That's why to our Dalaga here, who is single, not married yet, it says there, the heart is deceitful. Do not just use your heart. It speaks about the fallen human heart. But if we have the heart after God's own heart, that's what God wants us. Not the fallen human heart. Because our human heart, fallen human heart, is deceitful above. Mandaraya daw ang puso natin. Then later on, you will see it. Note the sequence of how David got entangled in the deceit of sin. So, wrong thinking. Wrong thinking. So, this one, then, one by one, we will see how he was trapped by sin because of wrong thinking. He thought, one day, Saul will destroy me. That's what he thought. Before that, those preceding chapter, it said, he even trust the Lord. One day, Saul, I will not kill Saul. I will not kill him in my hand, because he is anointed. I will let God do what is just for him. But now, he's saying to himself, he's thinking, oh, no one cares for me anymore. One day I will be destroyed, he said. One day I will be captured and be killed by King Saul. He got tired already. 8 years. Remember, 8 years, the Lord did not allow Saul to capture David. And then in a moment, he said to himself, I have to escape or else Saul will kill me. Sometimes that's what's happening with us. We already experienced the Lord for many years. Then in a moment, he will think, oh, I think the Lord will not answer me anymore. I think the Lord is not with me anymore. I think the Lord does not listen to me anymore. I think no one loves me anymore. I think Pastor Mario is angry with me because he doesn't greet me anymore. Oh, I think other Christians don't like me because they don't even greet me. Thinking wrong thinking. Next one. That's why the heart is deceitful above all things, wrong feelings. Unchecked wrong thinking leads to wrong feelings. Wrong, if you think wrong, you will feel wrong. David began to feel sorry for himself. It says there, I, me, myself. He was now focused on himself rather than focused on God and His Word. Satan always hits you first in your thinking. Wrong thinking then leads to wrong feeling, and then if that is what you feel already, it will lead to wrong actions. You see, it starts with wrong thinking. He just thought that one day the soul will capture him, kill him, and will destroy him. And he had the feeling, he had the wrong feeling, then it leads to wrong actions. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with hiding from King Saul. But little by little, he did not notice that the trap is waiting for him. He started with wrong thinking, wrong feeling, and then now wrong action. David did not seek the Lord's mind on this decision. God is nowhere. He's nowhere in the picture. David said to himself, so David arose and crossed over. He did not ask the Lord for this. He did not consult the Lord. Lord, will I go to the Philistine people? Will I go to the Philistine land? He did not ask the Lord. That is very important with us as Christians. We have to ask the Lord, Lord, will I transfer? Will I apply this one? Will I accept this one? Will I say yes? Or will I say no? Will I marry? Will I not? Will you want me to? Lord, is this the woman? Is this the man you want for me? Let's ask the Lord. It's not just what we feel. Remember, remember the mistake of Prophet Samuel when he chose the firstborn son, and the Lord rebuked him. Man looks at the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart. Wrong thinking, it leads to wrong feeling. It leads
Wrong actions.
It leads to wrong action. He forgot the Lord little by little. It doesn't come, sin or the trap of the enemy doesn't come to us in a visible way. It's little by little. Little by little. And the first you are sitting in the front. Later on you're sitting on the middle. Later on you're sitting at the back. Later on you are sitting outside the door. Later on you are sitting beside the entrance. But you did not notice it. It comes little by little. Later on, we cannot see you anymore. In other words, he had become backsliding in heart. You know, it can happen to us. Even you are here, even if you are sitting there.
That's why I don't want to sit at the back.
Even if you are sitting there, we have to search our hearts. If you don't enjoy anymore the presence of the Lord, if you don't enjoy the word of the Lord, we have to ask ourselves.
Why?
It comes to one word. Is ask yourself, maybe Lord, maybe I have become to the point that I have a backslidden heart. We have to ask ourselves. If you are not excited with the works of the Lord, if you are not excited coming to church, if you are not excited to see the brethren, let's ask ourselves, baka tumalikod na tayo. Just like David, he has a right motive. He has a right motive actually. Run from the enemy. But eventually, he did not notice that there was a trap awaiting him. And
Wrong.
number 4, wrong company. Still from 1 Samuel 27. Do you know what nationality Achis was? He went to Philistines, right?
Yeah.
To the king of Gath, that is Philistine. He went there. Do you know what nationality was Achis? He was a Philistine. A committed enemy of Israel. Oh. Well, I thought at first he's doing the right thing. But then, later on, he went to the wrong company. He went to the wrong place. To the Philistine. To the enemy of Israel. And do you know what city Gath was? Do you know it?
Town of Gulan.
Nakasulat na. It was the hometown of Goliath.
Yeah.
Wow. Can you imagine that? David had killed the hometown hero, Goliath. Yet here he is moving now to the same place of Goliath. And they accept him. Oh, there's something wrong, right? He killed Goliath, and yet now he wants to live in the place of Goliath. And if I were those people with Goliath, the Philistine people, of course you will take revenge. Yet he is moving there. Do not be deceived. Bad company corrupts good character. So let's beware also of our company. It only starts with wrong thinking, and then
Wrong
feeling,
Wrong action.
wrong action, wrong company. Wrong. Nawala na. He's already starting to miss the purpose of God in his life. And there's number 5 more. More wrong action. David had a lot of mouth to feed, and there were a lot of job opening in Ziklag. So they began making guerrilla raid on the pagan villages. Biglang nawala. So look si David. It becomes totally confused now of the purpose of God in his life. He became guerrilla now, killing other tribes now, leaving no one alive. And then he comes back to Achis, the king of Philistine. Where have you been? I have been to your enemy. I have killed them all. See, he has become rich. He has become comfortable now with the enemy zone. And look at that. Chapter 27, verse 12, the last verse. It says, Achis trusted David and said to himself, he has become so odious to his people. It means the Israelites hates him because he is killing my enemy. Because David is saying, I have killed your enemy, the Israelites, there and there. He is lying already. He did not kill the Israelites. He killed the enemies of the Philistines. He has become guerrilla by raiding them. And then Achis said, he has become so odious to his people, the Israelites, he will be my servant forever. He has become servant now of the Philistine king. He has become a servant of the enemy. Do you want to be a servant of the enemy? somewhere in the Bible, the one who was backslidden heart, it's mentioned, once you have tasted the Lord and then you have backslidden, it is better for you not that you have not tasted and see the goodness of the Lord. He began making guerrilla on the pagan villages. More wrong action. He has become now a servant of the enemy. The snare of sin is that initially it makes life more enjoyable. He is enjoying now what he is doing. Four good result of David's wrong to this point. Relief from pressure. This felt good. Who loves pressure? You love pressure from your work? You like it? And you are being pressured by your boss? Submit this, do this, go there, come here. And you are pressured. You like that being pressured? No one likes pressure. But he found relief from pressure now in living with the enemy's territory. And it feels good for him. Oh, it feels good. Acceptance from the world. Now he feels accepted. Okay, King Saul and Israelite army, I did my best for you. I killed Goliath for you. I saved you from your enemy. And yet, this is what I got. You want to kill me in return? It's better to take side with the enemy. And he was accepted by the world. The minute you turn from the Lord and you turn to the world will welcome you with open arms. Come here, join me. That's what the enemies will have you two open arms. Okay, come back. But we will not allow that. Amen. We will not go back to our previous life, to our previous sinful life. Amen.
Amen.
The comforts of life. After years of living in caves and hiding out in the wilderness, now David finally had a place to call home. Wow. Very comfortable now in the enemy territory. Kaya naman, di ba? Araw-araw sa cave ka, kasama mo mga bats. Talibatan. Bats panicky. You're living with the panicky every day. Maybe they're already eating panicky or bat in the cave, or until they get there in the cave, together with your family and together with your 600 men, with their family also. And then in the wilderness, what will they eat there? Maybe scorpion or snake. And now, to get the enemy, living with the enemy, they feel at home, comfortable. No pressure. They will only kill the other tribe, and they will get all their belongings, their animals. He has become comfortable in the enemy's territory. Growing popularity. How could it be wrong when it feels so right? Can it be wrong when it felt so right? Have you watched the movie Robin Hood? He's raiding, he's stealing money from others, and then he will give it to the poor.
Yes. Pagkasigang Guerrero.
Filipino version.
Kababayan ko yun.
Dito lang yun. Dito lang.
He is doing for him. He is doing wrong, but to do it in the right way, to give it to the other people, to the poor people. That's what David was doing. He was doing wrong, but it feels right to me because I'm helping other people. I can, with what I'm doing, I can feed my family. They are not hungry anymore. They don't eat the bats anymore and the scorpion anymore. And then I can also feed the family of my men together with their families. Is there something wrong with that? Because of what you are doing, maraming taong naninakaw, maraming taong nagugutom, nakapakain mo. Is that wrong? There's something wrong with that. He is doing the wrong thing. It's just like a sin. For example, this is a sin. And then you want to cover your sin by doing good. And then you want other people to forget your sin by doing another good. And then the sin is being covered because you are doing another good now. Another good, until people already forget your sin. But the sin is still there. It's only covered. And unless that sin will be removed, we cannot be righteous in the sight of God. We have to ask the Lord forgiveness. We cannot erase our past sins by doing good deeds, because we are not saved by good deeds. Amen. By grace you are saved through faith. Sin's consequences always catch up to us. So, in other words also, he already compromised his faith. He is already in the compromising situation because he has already become servant of the enemy. He will be my servant forever, said the king of the Philistines. And then when there was a war, and this is one of the most difficult situation of David. There is a war now between Philistine and Israel. Kanino siya kakampi? Whom he will take side with. He is now living comfortably with the king of the Philistine, who will make war now with Israel. Kanino siya kakampi now? There is already a point that we have to choose. Whom will you choose? After having all of this success, after having all of this at home, not home ka na. But when the Lord asks you, what will you choose? This or God? This sin or God? This enjoyable thing or God? God, when they was already on that situation, David took side with the Philistines to make war with Israel. But then, when he was already at that point, God intervened already. That's our God. When we are already on our lowest point, God will intervene. When we already compromise in a situation that we cannot go out, God will intervene. God graciously intervened through the Philistine warlord who asked a very pertinent question. What are these Hebrews doing here? Remember the warrior and the soldier of Philistine, and then at the back, this is David and his men. They are ready to fight the Israelites. And then the leaders of Philistine, what are these doing here? What is David doing here? What are these men doing here with us? And it's a good question. What are you doing there? With territory, with the enemy's territory. we should not be there. Right? We should not be trapped. We should not be snared on the trap of the enemy until someone will question us, why are you here? What are you doing here in the nightclub? You are Christian. Why are you here in the cockpit arena? You are a Christian. I thought you are a Christian. Why are you here drinking with
Sharing the word.
your old friends, drinking with alcohol? Why are you here? And why are you there? So it becomes compromise. David already compromised. He was already trapped. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. Whatever a man sows, this he will also reap. There is awful consequence. For the one who sows to his own flesh shall from the flesh reap corruption, but the one who sows to the Spirit shall from the Spirit reap eternal life. On the next week we will see that David enjoyed. What David enjoyed. He thought it will go last. Oh, happy moment in life. Until the Lord intervened. But he was already at the lowest point of his life. At the lowest point of his life, you know what happened? You will see the lesson next week. That what happened after this. It has become the lowest point of his life. That he thought what he enjoyed, God took it away. In a minute, God took it away again. And then that's the time he realized. That's the time he realized that he was already trapped by sin. 1 Corinthians 10, verse 12. Be vigilant. Let him who thinks he stands take heed lest he fall. I like this version in Tagalog. Be vigilant, maging maingat ka. Iingat ka. Ikaw na nag-iisip na nakatayo ka, baka ka mabuhay. Tagalog. It says, I like that in Tagalog. Because you are thinking that you are standing. You are still standing. You are thinking that your faith is still strong. But you never notice that you are already out with the connection with the Lord. So let's not allow the sin trap us, just like what happened to David. At first, it was a right intention to stay away from the enemy, but he did not know. Eventually, step by step, he was being trapped by the enemy. But there was a point that God intervened. It was a wake-up question. What are you doing there? What are you doing with that sin? Why are you enjoying that sin? Say to us, what are we doing? Are we enjoying that sin? Let's be vigilant. Let's be careful. Let's be warned. It says, kaya ko to. I can do this. I can overcome this. Being aware, be vigilant. Lest, it says there, lest you fall.
Amen.
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 So, in everything that we do, we have to consult the Lord. That's the very thing there. If you don't want to be trapped by the enemy, let's consider the Lord first. Even if you know what to do, because sometimes I know what to do already. Even if we know what to do, let's not forget the Lord. Let's always give first priority to the Lord.
Amen.
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 Praise God.